Yo, what's up guys? Grant here with the Strength Project. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about knee pain in the squat and what to do about it. So, first things first, there's two types of knee pain. One is caused by lack of mobility, and that's from you're losing position in the bottom of the squat, and that's causing you. It typically causes tracking issues. Take for example, you're trying to go into the full squat, and a lot of people are unable to keep that knee out over the toe, and their knee comes in like this. It's a valgus strain. So they're squatting down, knees out, and then they try and drive up. Their knees come in and collapse. You know, that causes a whole slew of problems, mainly knee pain, because your knee is not tracking the way it should be. And in the bottom of a full squat, the knee is fully flexed, and that is the most structurally sound position of the knee. But in the ass to ground squat, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, ass to ground, you know, go ass to ground, or it's not a squat. Well, that's what causes a lot of the misconceptions about the ass to ground squat or the full squat, because knee pain. People have tracking issues because they lack the mobility to keep their knees out. So some of the things that I do is take a look at your squat and see, are you able to keep your knee out all the way through a full range of motion? Is there any tracking inwards? Is your knee moving at all? If you're squatting up and down and your knee has any movement like this, typically that's going to lead to some pains. So what you can do about that? Well, ankle mobility fixes everything. So take a look at my back squat mobility video. Do the stretches in there. Make sure that you have the position capable to reach a full ass to ground squat without knee tracking issues. If the problem is still occurring and you're doing all that you can to increase flexibility, typically I move to IT band work. So what I'll do is, and I do this once a week just to stay healthy. This is a go-to for knees. What you're going to want to do is just lay flat sideways on your foam roller, start in the high hip region, and just slowly stroke downwards. Try and relax that IT band, try and break up all that fascia. To intensify this, I'll put both legs here just to increase the pressure, and I'll start real low, and then I'll just cruise up to the top there. Aim for about 20 strokes a side, really slow. It should take you about 3 to 4 minutes to complete each side if you're doing it correctly, and if you've never done that before, then it's going to hurt a lot, but it will help. It'll help an insane amount. Another thing that I like to do is, if I have my lacrosse ball right here, it's taped currently onto my barbell from the hip mobility, but I'll just lay that lacrosse ball deep in that high quad, and I'll just tack up and down and try and get it deep in the meaty region right here, kind of in the center of the quad, and just flex and reflex, flex and extend your knee, and then I'll just tack and stretch all these deep muscles of the quadricep. That releases a lot of tension that gets built up in there. Another thing, I like to just kneel flat, and some people say, you know, oh, I'm getting knee pain when I'm kneeling flat on the ground. That's if your knees hurt or there's any discomfort when your knees in this fully flexed position with your feet under your butt, you're lacking flexibility somewhere in the kinetic chain. I can't see you actually stretching, so I can't diagnose that problem. You're going to have to figure out where you're tight, like where your muscles are tightest, and stretch those out. And a lot of times, you know, there's a connection of tightness. You know, your hamstrings aren't the only thing that's tight in the kinetic chain. You know, hamstrings, glutes are weak and inflexible. Hip flexors are too short as in they're too tight as well. So it's up to you to figure out, you know, where your limitations are and create a system to attack those. So that's the structural problems in the back squat. You know, if you're the knee tracking issues, And then for the second part, repetitive motion. A lot of people, you're squatting a lot, oh, my knees ache, even when I'm not squatting. The first thing I do is double my fish oil intake. I love fish oil. I'm a fish oil nut. 20 grams a day is not too much. So if your knees are starting to ache from squatting too much, double your fish oil intake. And I usually recommend, even if you're not taking that much fish oil, double it anyways, because a lot of times it'll fix problems that you didn't even know that you had. You have aching joints somewhere. Fish oil fixes everything, just like ankle and hip mobility fixes everything. So double your fish oil intake, self-myofascial release, the IT bands. Make sure that you're stretching your ankles regularly and make sure your knees are tracking properly. If all these things align correctly, then you should be eliminating most of the knee pain in the squat, and you should figure out what works best for you and use that in the future to prevent knee pain. So thank you guys for watching. Hope this helps. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.